It is episode 153 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast, presented by Blue Wire. It's your boy, Jevin LaFave. We got Hayden Barton as per usual, and returning to the show, once again, one of our most reoccurring guests, Scott Ani. How we doing, buddy?
We're good, boys. Happy to be here. Finally got some NFL news.
Oh, do we ever? Do we ever? How's me and you are on our spring break from school, so how's that? Are you treating yourself to that?
Just taking it easy, Haven't got any school done yet. Gonna have to get to work on that soon. I'm going on a little vacation tomorrow for 3 days over to the Sunshine Coast, so should be a good time.
Fucking rights, fucking rights. I love that. Hayden, how we doing, buddy? Since our scramble tournament on Sunday, where we came home empty-handed in many more ways than possible.
Dude, don't even get me fucking started. Just when I thought I was ready for golf, I'm ready to hand in my membership now.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding. Scott, I was fucking banging the ball on Sunday. Like my first drive on the course over 300 yards with wind. But it was a good day. If we got half as many putts to drop, who knows? We could have been like
In
very, very
contention.
close to
Was that your
winning.
first swing of the year? Just banged it right down, dead center,
Oh no,
300?
no, 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 no. If it was first swing of
No.
the year, that'd be insane. But uh no, it was first round with a membership. And it was like a scramble. So obviously we finished under. Wanted to be a lot more under than what we were, but sometimes the ball just doesn't roll your way.
We
I
couldn't
gotta get
buy
out
a
there.
putt. We
No,
couldn't fucking buy a putt on Sunday. It was so frustrating.
absolutely ridiculous. But other than that, everything seems to be going all right. Obviously, like Scott said, some big football news and just trying to catch up on everything there. And yeah,
Well, since NFL free agency and like the off season's officially getting started, why don't we start off with football this episode since there's a lot of there's some things that happened within the NHL, but a lot of it's more on the minor side. Why don't we start with the NFL this episode and kind of switch things up?
sounds fucking good to me.
All right, Hayden, why don't you get us started there, big boy?
All right. Well, obviously, free agency. Fuck, I couldn't think of the fucking word.
Yeah.
Free agency started yesterday, and fucking lots of shit is coming out. I'm still trying to like get everything from Sunday with all the trades that we've missed and shit like that. So let's start off with the first couple of things, and maybe while I get your guys' opinion here on some of these, I can write it down. But the biggest news, the biggest thing that happened last week, thankfully not a day after we recorded, but a while. The Chicago Bears absolutely fleeced the Carolina Panthers into trading not one, not two, not three, not only four, but four picks and wide receiver DJ Moore for the first overall picks. Obviously, that's two firsts, one this year, one next year, and then a second and a fourth. I think it was a fourth. Regardless, a lot of picks. Jev, it was a fleece, right?
I was kind of surprised when I saw it. And mind you, like I think if you subtract DJ Moore from it, I think it's like a proper like price for the first overall pick because I as much as like there might not be like a consensus number one pick, there's still a big litter to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when you're in Carolina's situation, then you want to get your quarterback, you want to have your first pick at it. I completely understand that. And Chicago, I think it was the total right move to move away from the first overall pick because I'm a Justin Fields truther, and I think if you kind of set him up to put some weapons around him, give him the best chance to flourish, I think it's smarter to do that than move away from him so early. So I thought it was like the right package, but then when they threw DJ Moore in there, I was so taken back from that. I was very surprised that the Bears were able to get him off the Panthers' hands. And I just think the Bears put themselves in such a good position having DJ Moore with Justin Fields, and then they still have a decent pick at ninth overall. So I really like where the Bears are at. I still think the Panthers pick is going to be high next year, so they still have Carolina's first round pick next year as well, which gives them another good run to get a good prospect for a rebuilding team. So I really like what Chicago did, and I don't think it really could have gone better.
Yeah, they're
I
looking
I
good.
don't either.
They're gonna be looking good too. Like that division, they they're trending in the right direction as of any of the other teams there, right? Like Rodgers is gone, seems. Cousins is probably leaving soon. Vikings are gonna be looking for a quarterback. So if Fields is it, which you think he is, I don't, but if he can actually be, Pro Bowl quarterback, it might be dangerous in a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all just matters. I think this year is obviously a huge or a bigger step up with Fields. Obviously last year, he just gotta. I can see him more or less kind of being like like a Lamar Jackson, but almost no, they're pretty similar. It's so hard to tell because it's so
He
early,
hasn't done
but
nearly enough with his arm compared to Lamar yet.
exactly, right? But it's like I said, it's like second year going into third year. Now he has a true number one, which he never really had a number one in Chicago. So this will be not like a make or break, but a let's see what you can finally do now with your arm as
Yeah,
well as your legs.
it's kind of like a Tua situation. Like they weren't so ready to give up on Tua quite yet, so they brought in Tyreek to see how he if it like would make a difference, and now they like Tua a lot more in their system. So maybe if yeah, Justin Fields might not be the answer, but you gotta at least give him a chance to flourish by having a true number one, like you said, Hayden, instead of having his number one be like Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool. Like I just don't
Mm-hmm.
think that really sets him up the best. So I think DJ Moore just gives him a lot more opportunity to show what he's got. And if he still can't figure it out, then the Bears still will probably have a high first round pick. They have a high first round pick this year. Who knows? Maybe they can find a trade package to acquire a quarterback for next year if Fields
Yeah,
isn't the
if
answer.
Fields isn't the answer, but obviously that was the biggest piece of news. So with regards to that, uh I still think Chicago won from this because of pick value. Obviously Carolina, we can say it now. Carolina signed a backup option as well with Andy Dalton that just broke as of Tuesday around 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So he agrees to a 2 year, $20 million deal. And keeping it in Carolina, they also signed former Saints defensive tackle Shy Tuttle to a small contract, but a good run stopper. So with that, oh, and they signed former Saints, former Cincinnati Bengals strong safety Von Bell. So Carolina making some moves in the trenches and in the secondary. My
There
God,
it is.
I'm just so scrambled right now.
You found it.
Yeah. So I mean, with all those signings, the Panthers have so much cap space, it's unbelievable. So like, what do you think about that, Scott?
I don't know. They're the Panthers, man. They're not going to be any good. I
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to watch a rookie quarterback if he starts, if he plays the whole year. But I mean, they just traded their two best offensive players in the last 6 months.
hmm
I hope it's Richardson, even if he's not the best, just because he's going to be, Cam Newton Jr. apparently.
See, that's
So
what I think
that'll
as
be
well.
fun.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I don't know. That team just bores the hell out of me, to be honest.
Yeah, he'll be good for like 2 or 3 years, and then one injury will just completely set him back, and it'll be Cam Newton all over again.
I don't know enough about college football, but like everything I've heard, he really hasn't played the good football. He's just testing off the charts from what I've got. Is that what
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's an athletic monster. He broke the broad jump. He broke the high jump for quarterbacks, and his standing deep ball is like 63 yards with no pads.
Yeah, the top like 5 QBs in those like jumping ones are like the best ones, like Tim Tebow, the most successful one out of like any of those guys with those
Yeah.
crazy numbers. So
Yeah, congratulations.
we'll
Look at what
see.
a career he's had.
Yeah, I think Panthers go CJ Stroud. I think they take the disciplined pocket passer before the athletic monster, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go see combine numbers and like, oh, yeah, that's our
Yeah.
guy.
That
I
happens every year.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think CJ Stroud they go with though.
Yeah, it definitely makes the Texans one second pick a little bit harder. So staying with the Texans, they have signed defensive back Jimmy Ward from the San Francisco 49ers, which is a step down for him, I'd say, but like he follows along with D'Amico Ryans. So I feel like that was pretty good signing. But yeah, you know what? We'll stay along track here. So after that, the Bills signed Matt Milano to a 2-year extension. Thumbs up in my books.
Yep.
Rams, here's a big one. The Rams trade Jalen Ramsay to Miami after releasing Byron Jones.
Yeah, they're gonna be terrible, man. The Rams are gonna suck so bad. Like,
Yeah, they are. Because Baker's not expected to sign back.
Wagner's gone.
Yeah, well, they cut Wagner, they cut Floyd.
But fuck them picks, right?
Hey, they got a Super Bowl. Who cares
Yeah.
though? Like, yeah, like
No future for like the next couple of years.
No, 100%. No, I just find it
until they
funny.
bring in Arch Manning in a couple of years.
Oh my God, if that happens, that's I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, with him going to Miami, is Miami. I had a thought about this today. I think Miami this year is AFC East champs or bust.
Well, depends what's happening at their quarterback position. Like they're stacked everywhere else.
Right? Like, but that's just my thought process, because how can you build up, the type of team they're building? Also, they re-signed Wilson and Mostert. So they want to keep integrity while also building upon, everything that they have. So they
Tua can
have to
play.
be.
If Tua can
Yeah.
play, that's fair. Yeah. If he's
That's-
not, if it's Mike White, they're not
He'll
winning
be-
anything.
Yeah, it'll have to be Mike White too, because he's also signed there as well.
Mike
Ugh.
White, man, the GOAT.
So now it just makes me wonder where Teddy Two Gloves is gonna go.
Is he free agent too?
Oh, they're probably gonna cut him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
bet
don't
you
know.
they've got to wait and see what's up with Tua though.
True.
If he's still playing football or not, who knows?
Yeah, I think, like Scott said, as much as like it's scary seeing Tyreek and Waddle on offense and then having to throw against Howard and Ramsey, it's all depends on Tua's health and like if he can stay healthy or if he can play even. So
Yes.
I think the weapons surrounding Tua allows him to succeed. It's just if he bangs that head one more time off the field, then I think it's going to be very hard to defend him to keep on playing football, right?
I agree.
And as Mike White had a good showing in New York, like no doubt, but it's still hard to completely rely on him to like carry you when Miami's like team is in this situation and like win now. Like we got to do something. We got to compete with Buffalo. We have the players on our team to go on a run. It's just very hard to be like, yeah, Mike White and Tua. Like if Tua goes down, Mike White's our guy, right? So QB health is very important for this team. It's going to be the X factor on whether they are AFC East champs or not.
100%. 100%.
Don't crown him yet.
Nope, definitely don't. The Commies are signing Deron Payne to a 4-year, $90 million contract. Seems like defensive tackles are getting the bag and people who can maybe play a little bit on the edge. So that's been a trend so far this year that I've seen. So good move for Washington. Next, the Falcons trade for Jonnu Smith. Now, this is lucky. We get two Pats fans to maybe get two different opinions. I think for a seventh, I think you guys kind of got fleeced.
He makes so much money. It's a cap dump. So like
Did they retain all the money in the contract?
it saves him $4 million this year. They save $18 million off the cap next year.
Okay, never mind then.
So like he has, I think, about maybe 550 yards combined and one touchdown in 2 seasons with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like I like him. I've always liked him since before he's a Pat. And I've been like supportive of him his entire time being a Patriot. He's gonna make $18 million next year for 550 yards and one TD in 28 games or something. Like as much as I like the guy, that's awful production. Probably would be better with Bill O'Brien. Doesn't matter though. He hasn't done anything. We'll go get a tight end for the $4 million they saved this year that'll produce just as much as he had, and then he'll save $18 million next season, and hopefully, spend it better this time.
Jeff,
But I do expect him to do better in Atlanta.
It's hard to disagree with Scott at all. Like I was very adamant on getting Jonnu on the field because of how much of an athletic freak he is and how much he could help the offense. But clearly Hunter Henry was the guy and they didn't want to use Jonnu. They only used him in end arounds and screens where I think he was so much more useful. But I think that in the situation where the Pats are, I think it's important to try and create some cap space to maybe open up an opportunity to get surefire weapons, because if we're only going to be using Hunter Henry, then it's better to get the cap space and go to a team where he might be utilized somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So as much as I like Jonnu, I gotta side with Scott here. Like it's kind of a no-brainer to try and save the money.
Yeah.
Trade away a tight end that obviously wasn't being utilized. So it sucks because I like him as well, but you just gotta sometimes bite the bullet.
He scored a touchdown week 1 of 2 seasons ago. That's the only touchdown he ever got.
Yeah.
In Patriots uniform.
It's upsetting because I'd watch him in Tennessee and stuff, and he was very good. I was very happy when we signed him. I was like, oh, the two tight end system is back in New England. Let's go. Obviously, it's not the level of Gronk and Hernandez, but two tight end system seemed to work out pretty well. One of them's an athletic freak. Obviously, they didn't go that direction. So sometimes you just got to accept a bad signing. Not even a bad signing, just, you just got to
work out. It doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Is what it is. He's not a bad player. Patriots know how to use tight ends. I don't know what the hell happened. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, voice crack.
Jesus, Aid.
There's tons
cut that.
There's tons of exciting tight end prospects in the draft too.
So, no, there definitely is.
I want that Darnell Washington to come in.
Oh, buddy.
We'll be set.
Yeah, I don't see him going to like the second round, but he's definitely a guy to look out for.
2 other guys that are supposed to go in the first round, right? And then I'd rather get him a little later.
Yeah.
Especially because we already have Henry. Henry's good.
Yeah.
He's good enough to be your tight end 1.
And he has chemistry with Mac, so it's important to keep that than try and like ruin it, right? So tight ends is like also a high turnover. Like you can get a new one and it can almost do the same kind of production job as, obviously there's the outliers like Waller, Andrews, and Kelsey, but I mean it's kind of like the running back position, right? You can kind of just plot one in. They can do a decent job for cheaper. So save the money.
No, definitely. But with that one, Seattle releases Shelby Harris, big defensive tackle name on the market now. We'll have to see where he goes. And then the Falcons have made a lot of moves. They're another team that has done, like we've just talked about, trading for a tight end. Obviously that kind of diminishes Kyle Pitts' value, I'd say, for fantasy. But they extended Chris Lidstrom, a solid offensive lineman, 5 years, 105 million. Protecting whatever fucking guy stands back there and gets crunched. And then shocking news, Austin Eckler has requested permission to explore a trade. Now, this is shocking because if he does this, I don't know, does he keep his same value that he has in like years prior, or does he just fully fall off the face of the earth?
I mean, I guess it depends where he goes, but it's just not worth it to pay him what he's going to want. Like, no matter who takes him on, like you'd rather have a Ramondre Stevenson who's 80% of him for a tenth of the cost. Like, it just doesn't make sense to pay him 20 mil, no matter how good he is.
Yeah. I still think that he can be a high impact player wherever he goes. He's a player who's a bulldog running between the tackles, and he's really good catching the ball. But like we were saying, running backs and tight ends, you can kind of pay 25% of the price and get like a tier below production. And I think that bang for buck is much better than like Eckler could be done in a couple years. Who knows whether injuries get him, whatever, because he hasn't been incredibly healthy the past few years, right? He's been on and off the field. It's just so hard to pay a running back that price when he might be slowing down soon, right? With how much usage he was getting in LA. So yeah, I'm not surprised with LA for doing this. I think it's completely understandable, but I also understand Eckler wanting to get paid. So we'll see where this road takes us.
Hopefully he obviously, gets what he wants, but it'll be interesting to see if Austin Eckler is in a new uniform next year. San Fran signs Javon Hargrave, 4-year, $84 million. Dude, San Fran's defensive line is absolutely insane. They're probably gonna have like one of the highest defensive lines, in like all of NFL history. Because you think about it, when Nick Bosa's contract comes up, and then that defensive tackle they drafted to replace Buckner, and now Hargrave.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Again,
they're
though,
gonna they're gonna be wreaking havoc all year, and it's gonna be very hard to stop.
they're only going to go as far as their quarterback's going to take them too.
What do you
Like, their
mean,
team is so good.
Sam
Yeah,
Who
Sam
knows who it
Darnold
is?
now
They could
backing
have.
up.
They'll probably have 3 different guys start a game for him this year.
Yeah, who knows? It'll be interesting what San Fran does in the draft, considering they don't have a first round pick anymore. But I mean, we'll
It'll
see
be
what
Lance
happens.
for a couple games. It'll be Darnold for like 4 more, and then Purdy will take over for the end of the year.
Boom. That's how it's happening. You heard it here from Scott.
Yeah.
Vegas. Big splash signing. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 years, 72.75 mil. So I guess the 49ers aren't going back with Jimmy G.
Nope.
Oh my God. Poor Johnny. Poor Josh. Poor Jesse. Poor
So what do you
Matt.
think? What do you think? You like having Carr more than
Jimmy G?
Garoppolo? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
They're pretty similar.
We'll talk about it more once we get to like a more relevant Saints news about it, but I mean, Jimmy G's he's a solid stopgap. Like he's going to be the guy that will take you to the next quarterback that you get.
Yeah. Hayden, why don't you give us your deep analysis on this signing? You've been kind of tossing it over to me and Scott. You just said he's a stopgap, but why don't you elaborate more? I want to hear you talk a little bit more.
Fair
on it.
enough. I mean, Vegas definitely is not a solid team. With another move that they made today, which we could talk about it, they traded Darren Waller for a third round pick. So they're completely selling.
Yeah.
They're just saying, you know what? We need a guy who can kind of put asses in seats. You can throw the ball to Devontae, hand it off to Josh Jacobs, maybe, and we'll see what can happen. But there's no way Jimmy G is gonna lead the Raiders past the Chiefs, past the Broncos, or past the Chargers for that matter. It's not gonna happen. And if it does happen, it'll be a fucking miracle.
Yeah.
It'll be because Mahomes is injured, Sean Payton got suspended for another year, and Justin Herbert turns into fucking I don't even know. So Jimmy G 2.0. So Vegas is just selling. I don't understand why they gave him so much money, so to say, because it's almost 25 mil a year, but yeah, Devontae Adams is in crybaby hours now. It's like maybe you shouldn't have left Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm more so kind of surprised about the term that Garoppolo got and what they were willing to give him. Like, I think for a team who's trying in the situation that Vegas is in, I would say like maybe a 1 or 2 year deal for Garoppolo but I don't know, 3 years is kind of like weird for a quarterback of
It's
his.
essentially a 2 year deal, right? It's like the third year could be like they could cut him after two,
Yeah, I
right?
guess, yeah.
But it's like maybe if they pick up traction, they'll keep him. And if not, like who knows? But they won't. Like I'm gonna call it right now. 3 years down the road, we will not see Vegas being relevant.
Yeah.
Other
Unless
than
they draft someone.
yeah, that's what they're gonna be relevant. They're gonna be picking high.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's my analysis with that one.
Yeah. It's
Jacoby
like
though.
Yeah, actually that's relevant too. They signed Jacoby Myers. That one went completely off my radar. So how do you guys feel about losing Jacoby Myers?
Sad.
yeah,
Dis-
I
disappointing.
he was one of my favorite players on the team. I think it's a good signing for Vegas. I think it's a good bargain deal for a very, very good number three, solid number two. Um, and I just think $11 million a year is kind of perfect for what that team needs. He's gonna get a lot of opportunities with cornerbacks pressing Devontae Adams and like Hunter Renfro. Like I just think he's gonna get a lot of action there. And now that with Waller gone, that's even more attention to him, right? So, um, they might be in a bit more of like a fly high in offense instead of kind of screens and running the ball in New England. So I kind of like Myers' intentions with signing in Vegas, and I think it's a good deal on Vegas's end for only $11 million a year. I just liked what Myers brought to the Patriots, so I'm kind of upset that he's gone. He was a good young receiver for Mac, so yeah, it's just tough seeing him go, and that's all it took to sign him.
Yeah, I like him a lot too, but he's a replaceable player.
Yeah,
Like he's a good receiver. That's it. You know, he's never gonna be great. Like you said, he's a solid number two, maybe a number three on a really stacked offense, but they could we've seen it every single year rookies outperform what he does at his peak. So this past can bring in a rookie or trade for another veteran. They'll be just fine. And also what's exciting is Kendrick Bourne's gonna see the field way more, and he's a way more athletic receiver than Jacoby is. Jacoby knows how to get open, he runs routes well, but he's got no like yards after the catch. He doesn't separate that well.
yeah,
Kendrick Bourne is a like elite level athlete, and Bill Bryan using him more will be pretty fun.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good point.
Hopefully, Jacoby Myers can help win the Raiders more games this year, more
Yeah,
than
throw him.
last year.
Maybe he'll complete some passes to some Raiders too.
Yeah,
uh,
He's
the
got a few
first
touchdown completions in his career.
that's the first video I saw when I searched up like Myers
Oh,
Right.
highlight videos for
Uh,
the Raiders.
and it was like Myers knew he was going to Vegas this whole time, and it was him throwing that pass to Chandler Jones. I was like, oh God, that's right.
That's a good one.
That was him.
Uh, two record signings back to back. So, the Bears, they signed Tremaine Edmonds off of the Bills. Obviously, Matt Milano getting that extension basically meant we don't want to pay Tremaine Edmonds. So the Bears, instead of paying Roquan Smith, get a Tremaine Edmonds
For 2 mil less.
for
Yeah, that's interesting.
basically 2 million less. Yeah, I like this move. I think honestly, Tremaine Edmonds, I think he fits more Chicago style. I don't know why. I just do.
He's bigger. I don't know. That's what I was thinking though. Like everyone's like, oh, well, you just let your all pro linebacker go just to pay another one pretty much the same amount of money. But just because they play the same position doesn't mean they play it the same way. So
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with that one, Scott, because this is like this is a huge move, obviously, because the Bears now don't need to go linebacker in the draft. They can just fucking go like anywhere now. They have a quarterback for the offense and a quarterback for the defense.
Yeah.
it's a hell of a
I
lot of
like
money
it.
for a linebacker, an inside linebacker.
It
But
is. It is. But I mean, if he plays up to potential like he has been, it's gonna look like nothing come 2-3 years. And then off of that, the Falcons paid Jesse Bates what the Cincinnati Bengals couldn't do. Falcons are just giving away money now.
Yeah. And
All this to just play out a rookie quarterback next year.
Taylor
it's just
Heineke.
Oh boy. Sorry, Jeff. Go on.
it's just such a weird spot that Atlanta's in. Like, are they do they want to be like competitive or obviously like you don't want to kind of rebuild with absolutely nothing. So is Jesse Bates like a good veteran presence to help with the young guys? Like, is that kind of their intention here? What do
Surely
you
it has to be because he's been trying to get paid for a while, and Jesse Bates was someone where if we lost Marcus Williams last year and he wasn't franchise tagged, I was hoping New Orleans would go after him because he wasn't asking for more than Marcus Williams. But obviously, after him having a great season and the cap going up, it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to pay him way more than Marcus Williams now. And that's exactly what happened. And he's like a Marcus Williams, but not as rangy, I'd say, in the secondary. So you get more of a linebacker presence, almost, I'd say, as much as you would um like a high flyer sort of deal. So that's how I'd kind of look at this signing for the Falcons.
That's fair. Scott, what do you think?
He's a solid player, man. I would have liked him coming to New England. But yeah, it's kind of weird for Atlanta. It's weird for him. He clearly just wanted to get paid and didn't care about anything else.
No,
Um, but yeah, it's not going to change their team. It doesn't make them a contender or anything. So
no.
Yeah, that's why I was very kind of confused by it. Like I thought they would just maybe kind of just take on a cheaper contract, play it out, just be bad for a couple more years, and then make the big signings once they get a little bit more picks under their belt. I was kind of surprised. So I was like, oh, okay.
They're
Kind of,
really gonna have to potentially jump up in the draft. Like if Richardson's gone, Stroud's gone, and they have to jump for Bryce Young. I mean, it's an interstate kid, right? Like Alabama to Atlanta. So do you do that? I hope so. Are you kidding me? I don't like Bryce Young, so that would really benefit my well-being.
yeah. So, yeah, I guess like I thought they'd maybe like try and go after a receiver to maybe just see what Desmond Ritter's all about, so they can kind of like test him a bit more. But
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think I
I guess
don't
we'll see.
think Ritter's gonna prolong with them. I think he'll be Like he didn't even look good last year when he was playing his last game, or when he's playing like his first or second game, I should say. He just looked very average. He was athletic, but he couldn't make like the big throws, so it was just
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see
We'll
what
see.
happens. See what they do.
The Steelers signed Pat Pete. Okay. uh totally just has to be for money. I don't see why Pat Pete, I don't know, maybe doesn't try and chase a Super Bowl. I don't think the Steelers are winning that division.
Probably not. They were the best team in that division down the stretch, though, and another year for Kenny. But
Were they, or was Cincinnati the best team down the stretch?
well, same things. Like I guess Cincinnati went on a run too, but they were what? They were 4-7 or something, or even worse than that. They finished 9-8. They
They
went
were
on an
definitely
absolute
not
run.
on the.
They're like 6-1 in their last 7 games or something.
Yeah, I think they were at 8 losses because people had Mike Tomlin first losing season and then they just won.
Yeah, they
Going
went
out.
crazy down the stretch. But
Yeah.
yeah, Cincinnati kind of owns that place right now, depending on what Lamar's going to do, come back, be healthy.
Yeah, that's a frustrating one in itself as well.
Yeah.
I
Anyone
like it for
on
Pittsburgh
Jeff?
though.
Yeah, I don't see like I don't think it hurts, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, Pat Pete's still kicking around. Good for him. I was like, fucking rights, buddy. Let's go.
I
I
love that guy.
Yeah, I think he's fucking awesome. But I was like, I can't lie to you when I say like I wasn't surprised. Like I saw it, I was like, oh shit, let's go. Like I don't hate it for either side. Why not? Doesn't really hurt.
Yeah, it was kind of just like okay, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah. I was like, all right, cool.
The Bucks re-signed Jamal Dean. God, I hope he gets absolutely toasted. Fuck, I can't stand Jamal Dean. Decent player, yeah, whatever, but I don't think he's as good as like what everyone hypes him up to be. So, Scott, any words on that one?
No, I think he's a solid corner. It's kind of that team's in trouble though.
Definitely.
They need to do everything they can
I
to.
hope to dear
I can already
God
tell you think your
they
team's
get
gonna run away
Baker.
with that division, and you might be
It's
in for a
not
rude awakening.
Hayden's high stepping from his own 20 right now.
It's not running away with the division, but it's like nothing so far scares me. Like Atlanta is just paying out. Like if Atlanta signed Lamar and actually, paid him like what they were gonna pay, like let's say Watson, I would be like, okay, Atlanta's making a move. Like they're going in. Like they have a way better position than we do. But because for some reason we can't handle running quarterbacks, which I never understand. But they're not doing anything. The Bucks are looking to sign Baker Mayfield. Give me that all day. And then the Panthers just traded everything. And Panthers fans all over like Twitter are like, oh, Marshawn Lattimore's daddy's gone now. And it's like DJ Moore's last game against him. 2 catches, 15 yards. Amazing. I'd take that any day of the week.
Yeah, who's throwing him the ball though? Friggin'
Right, exactly. Like that's all that matters. So nothing right now scares me. So yeah, call it whatever you want. I'm high step into that end zone. I'm getting a playoff game.
7-10 division champs.
Hell yeah. Sam Darnold signs with the 49ers. We talked about it a little bit.
All pro quarterback incoming.
Dude, I don't get this one. I don't.
It was weird, but like, yeah, it's so funny because we're gonna see Sam Darnold have a fucking unbelievable year somehow, and he's gonna throw maybe like 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he's just gonna look like a fucking god.
I think that move makes a lot of sense. It's like they don't want to spend a bunch of money. They hope Purdy or Lance can be it. Purdy's not going to be ready. If Lance gets hurt, can't play, you throw in a guy who has experience that you didn't have to pay 25 mil like Jimmy G. So
Yeah.
No,
just
100%.
gotta get you through whatever 5-6 games till you can get Purdy in there.
Yeah, it's just such a weird position for them right now if they don't have a quarterback.
Such a weird
right there.
quarterback, like
They got two
territory
dudes that
going
could be it though.
Cisco.
Yeah.
Like we just
We
don't
have
know.
potential, but we don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Two tough injuries for San Francisco quarterbacks.
Something's definitely up with their fucking oh god damn it, trainer. Thank you. Anyways.
All right. What's the next one?
Saints restructure quarterback Jameis Winston's contract, saving money somehow. I'll tell you this right now. I am absolutely shocked that he did this. I don't think he likes the coaching staff at all. But there was one thing. He did win like a players award, and all of his teammates voted him as like the captain and the leader of the locker room, even after he was benched and lost his job to an injury. He still was just like that glue guy. And I hope the best for Jameis Winston. Like he can do no wrong by me as a quarterback in the NFL.
I think James is the
I will
people's
cheer for him.
quarterback.
Absolutely. I will always cheer for Jameis Winston. And I hope that we trade him at the deadline to like San Fran or something. Like just somewhere fun for him. You know what I mean? Like let's say San Fran is in the dumps. All of their quarterbacks are injured.
On their
And
sixth
Winston,
quarterback and trade for Winston.
yeah, and Winston's just right there for the taking. You know what I mean? He is a completely incentive deal now at $5 million, could be 10. Like absolute bargain.
Yeah.
Scott?
He'd be real fun to watch play in San Francisco for sure. That's kind of weird that he hasn't got any looks to start any games for anybody else this year, but
I just like you got to take into account of the games that he was starting in. He wasn't bad. Like
No,
he
yeah,
wasn't bad at all. He as a starter, he was I think he was like 8-4, 9-4, like and led one of the craziest comebacks last year. Down by 2 scores in Atlanta. Like Jeff, we were there. What a game. Just fucking walking all over Donnie and Donald's grave.
Yeah, we saw that. Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's good. 2 back-to-back signings for the Falcons. Both off of New Orleans roster. They're basically the Atlanta Saints right now. Not only do they have our old defensive coordinator, but then they decide to take Caden Ellis, rising star linebacker, and David Onyemata, who didn't have a good season last year, to say the least. But Caden Ellis was someone I was so hoping we could retain because he had the toughest 2 to 3 years starting in the league. I hope nothing but the best for him. Tore back-to-back ACL seasons. So it's awesome to see him get his bag. And then David Onyemata. Somewhat, I guess you could say, connections with Left Side Heavy podcast with Matt, friend of the pod, playing with him in Manitoba.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, connections. It's just all around us.
Yeah.
But obviously we talked about it already. The Falcons aren't like they don't scare me still.
Yeah.
Like okay, you signed a safety, you signed a linebacker, and then you signed a defensive lineman who's throwing Kyle Pitts and Drake London the ball.
And I honestly think that like their goal isn't to scare anyone. They just need to be able to sell tickets. And if they can like put some like somewhat fill out that massive stadium they have, then I think that's just the goal. So I think it's just like let's just make these random signings, try and like put some entertainment on the field, but whatever happens, happens. Let's just kind of see how the season plays out. Like I just think that's where Atlanta's at, maybe. And I don't know. Kind of makes
Maybe,
sense to me.
maybe Matty Ryan will go home.
Oh, good. Good with this
Why
news.
not? Why not?
The Vikings sign Marcus Davenport to a 1 year not fully guaranteed, 1 year, $13 million deal. Obviously had the biggest down year I've seen of everyone. Contract year last year, but he put up half a sack. Yeah.
Tough.
Believe it or not, that's one full less pinkies he had last year.
Oof.
Yeah, he has 1.5 pinkies. So I mean, I hope nothing but the best for Davenport. He's a solid pressure guy, just can't finish. He's like the ultimate edger. He'll get you there, but you're not coming.
Okay. All right.
It's only right. He plays off the edge as well.
Uh,
But
he really takes pride in his position name.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's a great edger.
yeah,
Great guy.
yeah.
But I mean, the Vikings, I think they also signed a defensive interior person as well. I can't remember. Pretty sure I saw that. Just didn't really make the list because it wasn't like a huge deal. But they're also not extending Kirk Cousins. I also just saw that. So Kirk's gonna have a big contract year this year.
He's gonna somehow
Hopefully.
get $55 million a year from some team.
Washington. Easy.
Seems like a Colts signing.
Oh,
In the
yes.
Colts
Holy
future
shit.
signing,
They're
yeah.
gonna give him $400 million.
8 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Seattle signs defensive tackle Jermont Jones, 3 years, 51 mil. Big name again, defensive tackle. Good move for Seattle. Ian's happy.
Yep.
Jermaine Pratt re-signs in Cincy. Good linebacker signing for Cincy. Definitely keeping down hopefully what Cincy had with their momentum. Can't really complain about that one. We already talked about the Falcons signing Taylor Heineke. So that one's like, yeah. The
Yep.
Bucks trade guard Shaq Mason to the Texans. Poor Shaq Mason.
I mean, like, I don't really think it's unfortunate. I mean, like, Houston isn't a bad place to be city wise, and I
Yeah,
think both teams are kind of in the same situation. I don't think Tampa's going to be overly special next year, so I don't think it's as bad as it was like maybe getting traded from Tampa like 2 years ago. But I think Houston's more on the up than where Tampa is right now. So like it looks bad on the facade, but like when you kind of look into it, it's like I mean Tampa's kind of in a spot where it's like they don't really have expectations anymore, as opposed to Tampa still might have something with like Evans and Godwin, right?
that's true.
So I just think like with Houston, it's like maybe playing in an environment where the expectations are lower, you might have a more enjoyable time playing there. Who knows? Who knows? But he also didn't sign there. He got traded there, so he still might be unhappy about it. But I don't
Yeah,
think it's like
exactly.
getting traded to Houston is like as bad as it once was, like maybe a few years ago.
I mean, yeah, they're
Pers-
gonna get a top QB, so be
yeah,
some excitement there.
yeah, it's a personal opinion, but could be a hot take. I don't know. I don't think it is though.
He won his Super Bowl. He can live his life now.
Yeah, you can kind of just chill.
Um, so I guess we could say this is the second biggest news of the day. But Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas has agreed to restructure a completely new contract, limiting his cap hit from what would be 60 million this year if he played 4 games to now down to only about 10 million if his incentives kick in on his prove it deal.
Who also restructured on New Orleans?
Everyone.
Yeah, because I
That's
saw
that's basically how it is. Everyone gets restructured on New Orleans.
that they saved like $32 million this year.
Oh, they've saved more. They were 50 million over
Like
the cap, and now they're 19 under the cap or something like that.
no, like I saw like two players, Michael Thomas and someone else restructured, and those two players alone saved 32
Like
mil.
today.
It was the day
Oh
Michael
yeah, I
Thomas restructured. I just can't remember the second name that was involved in the
it was today. So
notification.
I actually am not too sure. Maybe it was Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan
Yes,
restructured today. Yeah.
I think that's who it was. It was Cam Jordan, Michael Thomas, or it was maybe like they're planning to restructure their contracts. I think
Something.
I got it a
Yeah.
couple days ago, and it was like the move would like save them $32 million. I'm like, there's no
Yeah.
salary cap in this fucking league. Like it's non-existent. If you can just save $32 million between two players, it's it's all hearsay.
Yeah,
That
that was
there's a,
basically Josh Allen and another guy on the Bills. They saved 32 million with just two moves, and it's like, all right, let's go.
maybe that's what I read.
The cap's
Okay.
not real.
No, regardless, Jeff, everyone on the Saints gets restructured every year. I love it when they're just like, oh, the Saints are in cap hell. And now we're at like one of the top teams that have money. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna sign someone. So yeah, obviously this is big news because he gets a 1 year deal now instead of what he had remaining was 2 years.
That's who it was. It was Bills have restructured the contracts of Josh Allen and Von Miller to save $32 million. That's who it was.
There you go.
Jeez.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know, Scott, when we talked about, the whole NFC preview, you said like you're excited to see what Michael Thomas can do. Obviously,
Yeah, I hate him now. He's the worst. He doesn't do anything ever. Killed me in
three
2 leagues.
three games, 3 games. He was back to his shit. 3 touchdowns, 3 games, averaging like 70 yards and like 6 catches. Like that was good, but obviously injuries. So he's gonna get injured this year. I'm
Yeah.
already like counting on it mentally, but it's like how effective will he be? I don't know. If he gets injured again this year and doesn't play for an allotted amount of time, I think he should just retire
Yeah.
because he's going to fuck up his life.
Dude, hang it up, dude. He's like the
Absolutely.
Anthony Davis of the NFL. So much talent, but just gets
Oh,
hurt once someone blows on his toe, then he's out for the year. It's like,
comes from New Orleans, man. That's what it's
yeah,
like.
it's
I did
insane.
trade him for I traded him for Dalvin Cook in a league after his 2 touchdown game though, so that was pretty nice.
Oh my God, sell
Oh,
high.
what
Holy
the
shit.
fuck?
What a
Yeah, it was a
fleece.
two. It was a 2 for 2, but like the other players didn't really matter in the deal, so it's pretty good.
Scott
Whew.
Ani, GM of the year.
Yeah, didn't win.
Sunk.
But the biggest news of today, the Giants, with their third round pick, trade for Darren Waller.
Should also talk about Daniel Jones signing for $45 million a year.
I'm pretty sure we did talk about that last year or last week.
Did we?
Yes. Yeah,
I
we
love
we did.
Waller,
We did
but
talk about it.
he's another guy that's going to stay on the field.
It was I talked about it. I know it, Jeff. Sorry, Scott. It was 4 years, $160 million.
Oh
40
yeah, we did.
million.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did talk about it. Yeah.
There's like 35 extra mil in incentives on that too.
Incentives, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought it happened after we recorded.
No,
My
thank
bad.
God. But yeah, no, I like Waller as well. I don't know what his stock is going to be like now on the Giants because I don't really particularly like Daniel Jones, but it's going to be cool to see Waller in different colors.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick. I think whenever you can get a player who has the ceiling of Darren Waller for just a third round pick, I think it's worth it, especially when you pay Daniel Jones that much money. He only threw for 15 touchdowns last year, which is
God
unbelievable.
awful.
It's crazy. So he will kind of provide a bit more red zone presence and at least that threat where you can maybe get some more pieces, kind of build an offense like Kansas City maybe, where obviously you don't have Mahomes throwing the ball, but if you have a player like Waller, you can be kind of your A target, and then you can have some B plus targets kind of surrounding for a bit cheaper money, and then maybe kind of build a team that way.
Mhm.
But I think Darren Waller acquiring him is excellent to give Daniel Jones someone to throw to.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's an awesome gamble for pick number 100. Why not?
Yeah.
The Eagles land Rashad Penny, likely meaning no more Miles Sanders.
Yeah, because they also re-signed Boston Scott too to a 1-year deal.
Yes, they did.
So
So I like this for Rashad Penny. I really like this for Rashad Penny. It's going to be interesting to see where Miles Sanders goes, though, because there's
Well, and
no
everyone
way
thought they were going to draft Bijan Robinson too. So now that's interesting.
that's out the window.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
think
So,
I think Bijan Robinson goes to personally, like, this is in the couple of mock drafts I've done. I've gotten Bijan Robinson almost every single time for at round pick 29. I
yeah,
like
I think
like
he
I
goes higher
don't
than that.
I don't believe in drafting a running back in round 1, but if he's that high and he's that touted, plus Kamara probably getting suspended, like, I feel like New Orleans has to do something. But it's only like very few teams that have gotten Bijan Robinson.
yeah.
And it's every team that's in the 20 like 2 and up. Because no one's really going for a running back at like pick 5 unless his name's Saquon Barkley. So
Yeah, but still, even like
sorry, Jeff, what
picking,
were you gonna say?
I don't even know what I was gonna say. Um, but like also like Eagles picking Washington, I wouldn't hate because like if you look at Penny's track record, I mean like he's dealt through a lot and um of like injuries and stuff. And Boston Scott having him as your number one is like not necessarily best case Ontario. It's not the worst, but like he's not really a number one running back. He's good in spurts, like as he's a really good number two. So I think
Yeah.
bringing in Washington, like I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I mean,
Washington?
yeah, what did I say?
No. Who is
Like,
Washington?
sorry, the running back we were just talking about.
Rashad Penny?
No, like drafting.
Robinson.
Robinson.
Sorry, drafting Robinson. Like, I don't think it'd be such a bad idea because Penny's been hurt the past few years, and
Yeah,
he wouldn't
I think this
necessarily
year could
be
be
all
a
reliable.
very big year for Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah,
Kenny G, not Kenny Galladay, who's also still on the board for free agency. So maybe the Patriots pick up Kenny G.
Oh God, don't say that. I hate that so much. People are like freaking. So many people are like making that a fit. How? Like, how is that an improvement for our offense at all?
Honestly, I'm going to be dead ass. I really want to see Kenny Galladay do well because there's no way you can have that good of a season, not be injured, and then not have anything to show for when you go to the Giants. Like how? How did he have nothing? He wasn't injured like a Michael Thomas situation here. He just completely fell off the face of the earth.
It's 6 catches last year.
Yeah, he needed what number was it, Jeff, to get his incentive? Like
he needs like 76 catches in week 18.
for his 750,000 incentive. Yeah, no, that was fucking hilarious. I don't know. I could not say I could see a comeback from Kenny Galladay, but I wouldn't hate to see a comeback from Kenny Galladay because
Yeah.
he was so good with Stafford. Fuck it.
Yeah,
He was
LA
good. He had
needs
a
to
couple
sign
good
him.
years, but it's too far, too long ago.
God damn. What 2 years can do to you in the NFL.
I know.
So with that and another receiver, the Jets signed Alan Lazard 4-year, $44 million deal.
Rogers' deal is done.
It's gotta be.
God. I just want this to be over with. Aaron Rodgers, please do something. So
I want him to retire badly.
oh, that'd be so fucking hilarious.
Jets
Just stick it
spent
to them.
Jets spent to the tits on a bunch of average receivers for Aaron Rodgers, and then he's like, no, I'm good. It's like, oh,
See you
okay.
later.
Yeah.
I like retirement. My darkness retreats were a lot more fun, so fuck you. The Cowboys traded a 5th-round pick for Stephon Gilmore, former Defensive Player of the Year, former Patriot. Kind of been really sus lately. Not the best, but I mean a good number 2 corner, pairing along with Diggs.
I don't hate it for a 5th. Like, I think it's kind of like a low risk, mid to high reward for Dallas. Like, I don't think it really hurts having him on the outside, like as a cornerback. Like, I don't think it's terrible. But yeah, he for sure has lost a step. But I don't know. I just think a 5th-round pick is kind of a bargain to see what he can do. Who knows?
Good
I
veteran
agree.
guy to teach Diggs some tricks there too. Like, but yeah, he's on the back end of his career. He's probably got a year or two left.
Yeah,
I think the value he'll provide in locker room and leadership will be worth every penny of it, even if he doesn't do anything on the field. So
exactly.
I agree. The Eagles retained James Bradbury on a 3-year, $38 million deal. What a fucking steal.
yeah, it would have been nice to get him too, but
That
Wow.
is
Eagles are
absolutely
loaded.
insane.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
There's like been a lot of really weirdly like team friendly deals going on so far.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just interested because the Eagles also signed safeties with Marcus Epps and stuff like that. I wonder where Gardner Johnson's gonna go. I feel like he'd be really. Well, no, you guys have Jalen Mills, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green hair.
Not really. He doesn't play ever. He's always hurt.
It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. But yeah, and then with that, like we said, the Matt Ryan sweepstakes are on. I just saw one funny thing. Jim Irsay just decided to give him a guaranteed $12 million in 2023, regardless if he was playing or not, and he was cut. So he's still getting $12 million, and he probably won't even play. Oh,
Wouldn't
That's
that be nice?
unbelievable.
that is football's finest work.
Yeah.
But
That's
with
fire.
that clears everything from there for football.
We got Pat's keeping Jonathan Jones too on a nice bargain deal.
Oh,
That's
did they?
beautiful.
Yeah, they got him
Yeah.
2 or 3 years at 11 per,
Somewhere around that. Yeah.
Wow.
maybe 10 per. Yeah, it was another real good team deal. Happy about that. He could have got way more in the market, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he could have as well.
I just think like New England in terms of defensive players, I think it's worth it for them to stay. I don't know. Like, I just think they value
Well, how
them
many
so.
times do they turn a guy into a star? He goes elsewhere and doesn't do shit. Like they
Yeah.
do. Defenders do that every single year with them. J.C. Jackson last year, he was injured, but still. Remember how good Trey Flowers was as a pass rusher? Never did anything in Detroit. Like it happens all the time.
Van Noy always tears it up here and then goes somewhere else and
Yeah.
it's kind of quiet. Like, I just think defensive players really value their time here, so I'm not really surprised that he took a team friendly. I think it's kind of worth it for a player's career. But yeah,
Some guys are just patriots too.
amen, brother.
For
Oh,
life.
Devin McCourty retired as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
shit.
Yes, Devin
Yeah.
McCourty is Dunzo.
Sad.
Just such a solid fucking safety. He was so good.
Dropped a lot of
Absolutely.
picks over the last couple of years, but I still love him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a very solid player. One of the Patriots you think of when you imagine the team. McCourty's always he was a solid player for a very long time. So shout out to McCourty. One of the twins. Shout out. All right,
No, I
Hayden.
said shout out.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, I thought you
That's
said
what-
shut up. I'm
No,
like,
I said shout out.
ouch.
No, I said shout out. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, okay, goddamn.
All right. Getting to some hockey news here. Nothing major, just a lot of little notes, fun notes that we can talk about. We'll start off with the Canucks here. Scott, I see you got your Sharks jersey on, but we're gonna stick with the hometown right now.
Norris
Different team.
Trophy right here.
Norris Trophy, a little EK65. I like it. JT Miller, in the game against Anaheim, he celebrated his 700th game, and he did it with scoring 2 goals, including a shorthanded goal. And he then scored another shorthanded goal the game after against Ottawa. I don't know what this fucking guy is now under Tocchet, but he's all of a sudden a shorthanded machine.
The worst penalty kill in the league. They score a lot of goals.
It's
Yeah.
absurd. I don't understand. My math ain't mathing when it comes to that. But Kuzmeister, Andre Kuzmenko hits 30 goals in the season.
That's sweet.
Second most amongst Canucks rookies in the first season. But he's probably going to clip 40. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. He's at 31 to 32 right now. Where do you guys like? We got our shorthanded, like our penalty kill is scoring goals right now. We have that longest winning streak in the NHL at the moment. Kuzmenko's hitting 30. Patterson's having a career year. We're obviously like in 27th place right now, playing ourselves out of a top 10 pick probably. Demko's back all of a sudden. Canucks seem to just be playing better overall under Rick Tocchet in some way, shape, or form. Where do you guys kind of see the Canucks season ending this year?
It's just hilarious. It's exact repeat of last season. So, terrible start, high expectations, new coach, play well. Like, it sucks that they're hurting their pick, but it's hilarious because it provides hope for this fan base again. You guys are all so excited going into this year, and then it just completely fell off. So, maybe they can keep it going next year. I would expect them to be better next year, but they have shown us that they can play great and then just completely fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are right. This is the exact same thing they did last year. They wanted to run. They're like, all right, let's go, Bruce. And then it was just, no, actually, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
we're not going to win.
It's like, it's just always something with this team. It's like our 5-on-5 scoring last year, or like our defense has been and is terrible. But like this year, our goaltending is the worst in the league. We had like a below 8. We had like an 888 save percentage between the 3 goals that we started this year. It was so bad. Like we would score 4 goals but let in 6. It was like we couldn't buy a fucking win at the start of the year. And it's just been not ideal. Like, yeah, our defense is probably bottom 5 in the league as well. Like it's awful, but our goaltending didn't help as well. We have a lot of not necessarily star power up front, but we do have a lot of players that can put the puck in the back of the net and just be productive. So I can't see ourselves being this bad next year. I hope we kind of continue this average to below mid play for the rest of the season so we've put ourselves in this position. We may as well try and get the best prospect we can, and then maybe try and launch ourselves into a better position next year. But I think we finish around 25th place in the league. Maybe hopefully shoot up to a 5th or 6th overall pick. But I don't think we're sniffing a Mitchkov Fantilli, or I don't even want to talk about Bedard because I just don't think it's realistic for this team.
No, not anymore.
Right. I mean, you can always get lucky, but not really if you're the Canucks because they don't ever get lucky in the draft lottery.
We're gonna get bumped down to like 16th overall pick somehow. Like it's gonna happen. Nothing ever
They'll probably
goes.
trade the pick for like a third pairing defenseman.
Yeah, fucking Brandon Carlo for the 9th overall pick or some shit like that.
There you go.
Boston's just gonna continue to be a wagon.
Here, I'll do it. I'll sim the lottery right now. See what you get.
All
Hey,
right,
Sharks won. Canucks get 8th. There you go. They're getting 8th.
Fuck off.
Goddamn.
Sharks, Habs, Columbus. I like it.
Oh, nah, fuck the Sharks, dude. No, I'm kidding. But your Sharks, man, they're how do you feel about them right now, Scott?
I'm thrilled. Getting ready for that pick. Hopefully a top 3 pick. They're second right now. I don't really care about anything else. I just want to get some prospects, go and trade whoever you want in the summer, and so hopefully we get a future superstar here in this draft. And I want Carlson to win the Norris. That's it. That's all I care
Yeah.
about.
Do you think it's like his to lose right now, or do you think it's a serious competition between like him, Fox, Darlene,
I
Morrissey?
don't think there should be any competition at all, personally. But the polls I've seen are like leaning heavily Carlson, but they're giving other guys a shot, so he's gonna have to perform down the stretch here. He doesn't have it won, but there's just so many stats that he just is so dominant. Like people talking about having a negative plus minus. Him 5-on-5, there's something like plus 14. Without him 5-on-5, they're negative like 45. So it's like 60 points better than the entire team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be the second defenseman ever to be in on 40% of his team goals, next to a guy named Bobby Orr, if you ever heard of him. Like
Decent.
I've heard he was
that should
good.
say everything that says everything you need to know right there.
Yeah.
He's their entire team.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely just been a part of it. I have Couture and Hurdle on my fantasy team. Well, I had Hurdle on my fantasy team, but he's kind of sucked
He's been
lately.
heating up a bit. He's heating up lately, actually. He was sucked for a bit, but he's been heating up.
I mean, give or take. I mean, I was like, oh, you haven't been performing as well. I'm gonna sit you out, and then yeah, he gets goals. But Couture has absolutely been a staple to my team, where it's just like when I need something, I can always count on Logan Couture to get like a overtime goal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's had a decent little season.
Yeah, I've always liked Logan Couture.
yeah,
Good guy.
he's always kind of had that dog in him as well. He's kind of clutched up when he needed to. He's a fucking monster against Vancouver. He always shows up against them somehow, and in the big moments, Couture's there. So he's a kind of good staple to have around the young guys for San Jose. So kind of see what they do going forward. But yeah, it's the same thing with Carlson. I have him on my team, and it'll be like 6-2 loss, but he'll have 2 apples and +1, 7 shots on goal, a couple blocks. I'm like, atta boy, staying off the minuses. I love it. Let's go. Yeah, no, Carlson's a fucking monster, and I really hope he gets the Norris. I think everyone would like that. Um, I got Tony DeAngelo, part of the Philadelphia Flyers, gets suspended 2 games for spearing Corey Perry. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it was a completely dirtbag move. Perry is confronting someone else. DeAngelo comes from the clouds and spears him right in the junk. Perry falls like a 2-inch putt, and then Pat Maroon and every single member of of the Tampa Bay team just folds DeAngelo like a laundry chair, like a fucking lawn chair. And it was just a total scumbag move. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you did, what were your thoughts on it? Is 2 games fair? What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
it's fair. It's not that. I mean, it's a dirty move. It's not gonna end any careers or anything. So he's a scumbag. I'm sure a lot of guys want to do that to Corey Perry too, though. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, 2 games, that's more than fair. But Jeff, there's one thing I can always count on, and it's your references for like the funniest fucking thing. Made him fall like a 2-inch putt. Bro.
sounds like those are the only putts you guys were hitting the other day.
They literally were, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it was terrible.
fucking hell.
Anything outside of 3 feet, we were just lipping out or just burning the edge. It was terrible, man.
Yeah, like what? I know I made two putts.
Oh yeah, Hayden
And
pushed up a few times for sure.
and it was on one of my own natural eagle, which was fucking sick. I have
Yeah.
to admit, natural eagle on a scramble is just like, yeah, look at my fucking junk.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, no, the other one I hit was like 5 feet, I think. So
I think 6 to 7 feet is more than just. I hit one of the most
yeah, because
unbelievable 6 irons of my life.
it was it was that hole where you hit like that low liner.
Oh, I hit an absolute worm burn 6 iron from about 175 yards out, and it rolled up to like 6 feet, and I was like, "Yeah, I meant to do that." I was like, kept it out of the wind, boys. That was my whole plan, and it's like,
It almost
Easy game.
almost went in the damn hole.
yeah. We're like, oh no, this is going in the hole, and then like a couple seconds later, we're like, wait, is it? Is it? And then it did. It looked like it was like right nestled up to the hole, but we still had some meat on it, and Hayden, as our ringer, drained it. It was very clutch, but
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But
wasn't bad. But yeah, to summarize, anything outside of 3 feet, we weren't making on a consistent basis. Gonna keep it going. Ryan O'Reilly broken finger, out 4 to 6 weeks for the Toronto Maple Leafs after it's official. He got surgery on it, so it's kind of tough for a newcomer for Toronto to just kind of go out immediately, kind of like KD with the Suns. Come sprains an ankle, play 3 games, and he'll be back for playoffs. But yeah, O'Reilly out. Should return prior to playoffs, so we'll kind of see if this impacts Toronto at all. Marc-Andre Fleury is on an absolute flurry right now. He's 5-0 in his last 5 starts, 1 shutout, 9.55 save percentage, 1.38 goals against average. One of his victims is your San Jose Sharks, Scott. Do we think that Marc-Andre Fleury is back, or do you think this is just a product of some easy matchups?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like I haven't even like thought about him for like a couple of years now. But he looked damn good against the Sharks in that game. And I don't know. That team's really boring too, though. I just don't see them winning anything. Maybe he's back. It's not enough though.
Yeah. Especially with like Kaprizov out, like he's just been announced 3 to 4 weeks with a lower body injury. So he kind of has to play on his head a bit more if they want to hold that wild card spot. But Hayden, you had Fleury for a while on your team and dropped him, and I was more than happy to pick him up. But
yeah, I
um,
mean, with my team, I picked up Bobrovsky off waivers. He's been lights out for me. I know you said he's been like up and down, but there's only been like 2 games where he's just shit the bed, like under 5 points. And then I got Demko in a trade for absolutely nothing. And Fleury was a staple on my team. Had my name, Marc-Andre Fleury, when I drafted him. Uh, but yeah, even before that, like while back, I was just like, Fleury's kind of been heating up.
yeah,
He's been on a little bit of a just he's just been a solid wall between the pipes. Like he doesn't even have to move, and he blocks the shots. And yeah, now he's posted a 9.55, 5 wins, a shutout. Like he's call it easy matchups, but you know what? We say this all the time in football. You play the people in front of you, and even the worst teams can put up like 4 fucking goals. Like what happened last night? It was an 8-4 win, someone against Montreal.
Colorado.
Colorado. But it's like, oh, fucking look at that. Kemper, no, it wasn't. Gorgiev still let in 4.
Yeah,
Was it Gorgiev that let in 4?
yeah,
And it's like Colorado is such a high flying team. But Jake Allen, I mean, that guy, absolute stud.
yeah. Six goals on 15 shots. How are you?
Oh,
That's impressive. It's quite impressive. Sticking with the unfortunate injury train, Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes tears his ACL, undergoes season-ending knee surgery. I think this throws a huge wrench in Carolina's chances of going on a run this year. I think this is exactly the reason why they should have made a big move at the deadline. Say what you want about Puljujarvi, but I just don't think that he's him. I don't think that's quite considered a big deadline move. I think they should have done more, whether that be JT Miller, whether that be something else. But I definitely think this is the exact reason why they should have made a bigger move. Scott, what do you think about this injury? It sucks to see a player go through a torn ACL or something to that magnitude. Season-ending knee surgery sucks. But how do you think Carolina goes forward without Svechnikov?
They don't. They're done. They're not winning. They need him. They were already, like you said, they didn't make a move, and everyone else around them got better. They're one of the best teams in the league, sure, but they need to be healthy. And no him, no Pacioretty. It's not even close to the team that it was supposed to be. So the East is too loaded. They won't, they can't. There's no way.
yeah, I
Yeah,
completely agree. Them
like
making no moves and now this big injury. How are you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking terrible.
all the teams around him are they're too good. They're not going to be able to beat him without their full roster. So,
I
and I
know
was
what it
already
is.
doubting him a bit.
I know what it is. Jev talked up the Hurricanes way too much, and every time he does that to anything, the opposite happens.
Like, if that team was in the West, I think they could go to the conference final and maybe squeak it out, even without Svechnikov. But in the East, there's no chance.
No,
Yeah.
not with Boston there and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Boston, New York, fucking even, I mean, like Tampa, it's just,
Toronto's
uh,
unreal too, and Jersey's got better too. Like,
yeah. And especially with Carolina, like their goaltending, they haven't been able to ride a fucking hot starter because whether it's Freddie and Ranta, fucking Ka- Kachetkov, it's like they haven't really been able to find a groove with a number one goalie. And if you can't find health in a goalie, then like good luck. Like it's gonna be very tough. So yeah, if I see Carolina get past the second round, I'd be very surprised. I think they are good enough to get past the first, depending on who the matchup is, of course. But yeah, if they get anywhere past the second round, I'd be very surprised and give Rod the Bod the Conn Smythe if that's the case. I don't even know if that's possible, but give give the coach the Conn Smythe if that's the case. Nathan MacKinnon, 11 goals in his last 11. Uh, he's just I've always had a soft spot for McKinnon. I think he's a lot of people kind of underrate him now, but where do you guys rank McKinnon amongst the rest of the NHL? Because a lot of people had him as the consensus number two behind McDavid. Some people, including my buddy Mac Locke, he has him as the best player in the league. Um, which I think he's kind of off his rocker, but I like McKinnon as a player. But then now since the emergence of Cale Makar, Austin Matthews hitting 60, like a lot of people are bumping McKinnon down the ranks. Where do you guys have McKinnon amongst the rest of the NHL?
I still have McKinnon top 5 easily. Like he's such a unique player. I don't put him quite at the steps of McDavid, right? But if we're talking forwards, top 4. Like right? But like you could make an argument for top 5 player. No real goalie has like made an impact like Shesterkin. Like I know last year we talked about it, and I had Shesterkin ahead of McKinnon. Yeah, ahead of McKinnon. But I mean, like I don't think I don't think I'd put Shesterkin there this year, right? But McKinnon definitely still top 5, top 4, I'd say for players right now.
Yeah.
yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, I think I would put McDavid and Makar above everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then that range there's a bunch of guys that are really good that you can kind of mix around. Like there could be McKinnon, Matthews, Draisaitl, maybe even like Pasternak. And now with these, way Tage Thompson's playing right now. You don't put him there yet, but he's playing like that. Um,
Kucherov.
yeah.
Kucherov, yeah.
But so that just second window, like the elite, like the elite of the elite, but not quite this franchise dude.
Yeah. I've always had a soft spot for McKinnon. I think I ranked him like third or fourth. Uh I would personally, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I would take McKinnon over Draisaitl.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I think McKinnon can just kind of create more on his own, and I'm not saying this at all, but like I guess me saying it kind of says like I'm saying it, but like I don't think Draisaitl is a product of McDavid, but like he gets a lot of help from him, and I think he's a power play merchant, whereas like I think McKinnon can kind of dissect offenses on his own a bit better. I still think Draisaitl is one of the best passers in the league.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Like he's unbelievable with his vision and everything, but just in terms of creating things on his own, McKinnon is just so electric. So I think I would put him third or fourth in the league, kind of neck and neck with Matthews. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting conversation because he kind of hovers from like, holy shit, he could be the best player on earth right now to like, oh, there's a probably 6 players in front of him. So it's a weird spot that McKinnon kind of hovers around. So I
A
thought
lot of it, I think, is like where you can kind of put them on special teams. Like comparing, I'd say you'd want Draisaitl over McKinnon because of the power play unit, right? Like look at how many goals Draisaitl has. He's leading the league with like over 30.
yeah.
He just sets himself up so much better in a 1-on-0 situation. Whereas McKinnon, you're like what you said, he can create a lot more chances whenever he has the puck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
I
Electric
mean,
player
you're
though.
not mad if you get either option there.
No, I'm
Yeah.
very happy with either. That's a fact. John Gibson sets the Anaheim Ducks all-time saves record versus Calgary. He's put up 36 saves in the win. That is 11,837 saves and counting for John Gibson. Just unbelievable. Just a goalie who gets absolutely peppered with shots. Whenever I see a 5-4 loss for Anaheim, I see 48 saves for Gibson. I'm like, Jesus Christ, monster. But I kind of relate to like John Gibson as like the Matthew Stafford for goalies, where it's like he's not going to go early, but you're never upset with having him or drafting him in the late rounds of drafts. I don't know if that makes sense at all, or if you guys feel the same way, but
I have him. He sucks though. Doesn't give me any points. But he wasn't really good. It seems like he's fallen off. It's kind of sad. Thought he would
yeah,
get moved to contender over the last couple of years, but nobody wants to take him on.
yeah, and I think he just doesn't necessarily want to go anywhere. I think he likes the situation in Anaheim, but uh, Rasmus Sandin has found his groove with Washington. In 4 games with the Capitals, he has 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 points, 5 primary assists. He's +6 with 8 hits and 4 blocks with just over 25 minutes a game in ice time. Rasmus Sandin, I think he was just being underused in Toronto. I don't think he was being appreciated enough. Finally found his situation in Washington, and I think this is excellent for value for Washington, a young defenseman. And he seems to be settling in nice. What do you guys think of Sandin?
I love to see it as a known Leafs hater. It's awesome to see someone they traded away succeed. He had 3 points against the Sharks, I think, and he was looking damn good there. So I don't think he's a number one D-man on the team, but maybe a solid number 3 going forward, possibly a top pairing dude. Like it's a great pickup.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely solid pickup for Washington.
I just think very good top 4 defenseman. You can kind of slot him anywhere in the top 4. But I think he's just so much better than what he was being dealt with in Toronto. And even in Toronto, he's still doing a good job for his role. So I'm glad that he's flourishing in Washington. And I think for a team who's kind of reining it in this year, dealt with a lot of injuries, might try and run it back for squeeze one more run next year, maybe try and acquire more. I think Sandin is like perfect for that scenario. He's young for the next generation of Caps, but he's good enough for this to help out now. So I think that was perfect.
Little news: New England signed a safety.
Ooh,
Re-signed
Peppers?
Jabril Peppers.
Let's go. Love Jabril Peppers. I was hoping we get him
Jabril.
back.
2
Jabril.
years.
Jabril the Thrill.
How much? Like 8 million? Total?
Let's see. It doesn't say any details yet, but just
Let's
2-year
go.
deal.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
They got 3 solid safeties now. Tim Duggar and what's his name? Adrian Phillips. Safety room still loaded without DMAC.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I think he's good with special teams and kind of slotting him anywhere on the defense too.
It's like a truck.
He really does. Dallas puts up touched football numbers against Buffalo, winning 10-4. Just absolutely.
Touchdown and a field goal. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, touchdown, field goal, and a successful extra point. It's this is such a Buffalo Sabres loss too. Like so much highs, but then you get a game where you give up 10. Right. So it just kind of shows the vulnerability they still have in goaltending. they got to kind of figure that out if they want to take the next step. But I still, for this season alone, Buffalo's excelling every expectations they had put on them. But you always like seeing a 10 spot game in the NHL.
What do
Yeah,
you even
tough goal, one
call?
goalie too. Was it Eric
Oh,
Comrie in net the whole game?
Was
the
he?
whole
I think it was
game?
Comrie. It was definitely in net the whole game, whoever it was.
What a demoralizing game.
That
They're really
is
falling off
Fuck.
lately, but at the end of the day, this season's a massive win for Sabres fans, regardless. I don't think they make the
100%.
playoffs, but Tage Thompson turned into a superstar. Darlene became a Norris guy. Like that's a fun team to be a fan of right now.
Yeah,
What do you even call like a 10-piece scored on you? Like there's for football, like getting 50 on you is like a 50 burger. Like what do you even call a 10 in hockey?
just a 10 piece. I don't know. I just kind of like I don't know what you would call that.
It's
But
just oh my god.
yeah, 10 goals is there's one what was it? Detroit last year, they had a game where they gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had a game where they gave up all those numbers. Like
That's wild.
That's
they lost 10
crazy.
to something, 9 to something, 8 to something, 7 to something. Like 1 through 10 they had. It was crazy. I was
And
like,
then in the playoffs, you have like the Flames and the Oilers. Like, what was it, 8-7?
yeah. Let's see if it was. Yeah, it was Eric Comrie. 10 goals against, 39 saves.
God damn.
Not good for your goals against average, I guess,
Oh
eh?
my god.
Nope.
Big wah. Bruins make history once again. The fastest team in NHL history to 50 wins. They did it in just 64 games. They have a record of 50, 10, and 5. It's I mean, like what much more can we say about this team?
I
Lost
mean,
to
not
Detroit.
really anything. They're just unreal. They're so good.
It's fucked. Like they're getting it from Swayman and Allmark. The Orlov acquisition is working out, I think, even more beautiful than they were imagining. Hathaway is making his mark in the bottom pairing of the offense, and Tyler Bertuzzi is just settling in so nicely. And then Pasternak is still tearing it up. It's crazy how well this team is gelling this year. And then it's just going to be so hard to see anyone beat them.
That's the thing, though. Like I was saying earlier, the whole East is so stacked. I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. Honestly, a lot of those teams are really good, but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. This is like Golden State Warriors type run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Chuck Fletcher is fired as the Flyers GM. Daniel Briere is brought in as the interim, and he's very confident that he can put this team in the right direction the next few seasons. Flyers have a record of 24, 31, and 11 and are 7th in the Metro. Scott, what do you think about this move from Philly?
Well, they haven't really done anything well for the past several years. They've signed some bad contracts. So I love Danny Briere. Be fun to see what he can do. They
Yeah.
got some work to do though.
No, for sure.
Quick note: Igor Shesterkin just got an assist.
Let's go.
Nice.
Never mind. He's back in my top 5.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shesterkin over McKinnon for sure. Confirmed.
Oh, absolutely. With that one move, such a beautiful pass too.
Yeah, confirmed.
The Rangers, man. Oh my god.
Did
They're
you see it? Did
hot.
you see the
It
assist?
sounds like
Yeah, he like Shesterkin like flipped it up, and then oh fuck, I forget who he passed it to, but I remember the number. The number's 10 on the Rangers.
Panarin.
Panarin. Yes, thank you. Pass it to Panarin. Panarin moves in, pass it to Zibanejad, and just scores.
So it wasn't just like he stopped the puck behind the net and then Fox took it up.
No, he flinged it to the blue line, opposite blue line.
That's respect,
Nice.
man. That's respect. That's respect. Scott, what were you saying before I rudely interrupted you?
I think that sounds like they're going to trade Carter Hart out of Philly, which will be interesting. See if he can really become that, Vezina level goalie we all thought he was going to be.
I think Philly just needs to blow it the fuck up. So I completely understand. Maybe get some good value out of him. And I think just like give him his respects. Be like, hey, we're far away from doing anything relevant. Why don't you go try and do something somewhere else? I kind of, I would, I think it's kind of understanding from both ends. And I'd be happy if I was Carter Hart and I'd kind of try and get the best value you can out of him if I'm Philly. So I completely understand that move for sure. Uh, last note here, Dylan Larkin. We forgot to cover this last episode, so we're gonna do it now. He after long going back and forth with Stevie Y, Dylan Larkin finally got his payday, extending his stay in Michigan for another 8 years at average annual value of $8.7 million a year. What do you guys think of this contract?
I love
Great,
it.
solid contract for Detroit.
Yeah, you got to keep Larkin around. He's the heart and soul of that team. He's having a career year right now. Like he fits their window for when they're going to win, and I mean it's a lot of money, but it's going right now for a number one centerman.
Yeah,
And cap should be going up. It could be a steal in a couple of years.
I agree, especially when you kind of have like Horvat and Larkin kind of pretty solid comparisons, and Horvat signing for 8.5. I I think it's appropriate money for Larkin. If that is the going rate, then I think that's totally fair, and I think it's just a win from both sides. I think Larkin's kind of shown that he's a very good captain for this team. He kind of fits their window, and he's a Detroit guy. From
He's a Michigan
Michigan.
kid, went to
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, exactly. So I think it's a perfect scenario to keep him around, and I think both sides are happy with this, and I think it's a very fair deal. It's not quite an overpay, fair price. So
It's like Aiden Hutchinson,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
completely Michigan born.
Amen.
yeah, that's pretty
Amen.
sweet.
But that's all I got for hockey notes. Once again, very, very light week in the NHL, but pretty some interesting notes for sure. And yeah, Canucks are back at it again tonight, Tuesday night, of course.
Oh,
It will
should
be
we
last night.
predict what's gonna happen?
Yeah, or we can say what's already happened because the game happened last night.
Oh yeah,
So who did they play against?
Dallas.
Yeah, they play very I don't know. JT Miller back at it again on the power play this time. I think that go ahead goal in the last few minutes was very clutch for them to win. Pedersen, of course, picking up another 2 points. I mean, I think the game going to overtime, we had a point locked up anyway, but I just wish we would have lost. But again, we extended that winning streak. So with Kuzmenko scoring in overtime, but
Fuck,
yeah,
man, why did you choose them to win? Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ottinger just. I mean, what more can you ask for when you put up 56 saves? You expect Dallas to win.
56 saves. That's enormous.
Oh,
Scott,
fuck.
what are your thoughts on the Canucks Dallas game that happened last night?
I didn't really get a chance to check it out.
That's fair.
Oh, God damn it. Too
Yeah.
busy watching the Sharks lose to Columbus, huh?
They better lose to Columbus tonight. Holy shit, will that be a big win for us? They already beat us once this year too.
That would be
So
beautiful.
Okay, well, then let me ask you this, Scott. Who do you think I should have, Goudreau or Couture in my
Gaudreau.
lineup?
Gaudreau.
Goudreau over Couture?
He's just a better player.
My God. Jeb, what do you think?
He is a better player. And the Jackets already beat us. I think both are a win tonight, though. There should be high scoring. All our goaltenders suck.
Right? See, that's what I'm
When these bad
thinking.
teams play each other, there's just fucking mistakes all over the place and scoring chances popping off. They're pretty fun games when we play the other bottom feeders.
All right. Well, then let me ask you this, guys. This is my starting lineup going into tonight, okay? Do a quick little session. I have Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, Hagel, who's already playing.
Your team
McDaddy.
stinks.
Hey, what are you talking about? Brock Nelson and Anders Lee, both
Oh, studs.
good. Hagel, good. McDavid, number one
Other than
overall.
McDavid, all those guys are okay. But
Logan
go on. Go on.
Couture, Clayton Keller, Hampus. Oh, that's my forwards. That's all that needs to matter. Not really specific. So with that, who would you sub out for
I'll
Goudreau?
take one of the Islanders out.
You take one of the Islanders out, eh?
Yeah.
So Anders Lee out for Goudreau.
Yeah.
All right. That's how
Yeah.
it's gonna be. If Anders Lee gets a hat trick, I'm coming after you guys.
Fair.
Yeah. I started Tristan Jarry.
He's
Holy
got 3 goals in on 5 shots.
4 goals on fucking
Holy,
7
he let him
shots.
Oh
Dude,
God.
he has minus 10 fantasy points.
Oh, from some Jake Allen numbers right there, bro.
Dude, this
My
guy
bad.
is a plug. Holy shit.
Oh, Patty Kane just scored.
Hey, let's go.
God, what a fucking dummy. Adam Fox assist at least makes up for it.
God
But
damn.
my God, Tristan Jarry, you're a joke. All right.
Oh,
Well,
that's funny.
that kind of finishes up for news and stuff. Scott, do you have time for our end of episode draft? We can make it quick
Yeah.
if we're running late, but yeah, this is all-time sports logos draft. You can kind of pick from any sport, whether it's college, NFL, NBA, NHL, wherever you want. We're not kind of limiting it to any league or whatever. So kind of whatever direction you want to go. It could be all-time, current, whatever you want. Scott, as the guest of the show, it is a 5-round, 3 picks per round, snake draft style. Where do you want to pick as guest of the show? You get to pick where you slot yourself. So go nuts.
Give me 2.
2. All
Yeah.
right. Hayden.
Tails.
Hey Siri. Heads or tails?
It's tails.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, Hayden, you get to pick where you
I'm
go.
gonna go third.
Fuck! I did not want first overall pick.
Yeah, well now we're gonna see your direction here. And I'm writing them down, by the way.
Okay. You're gonna make a graphic of this?
Yes, sir.
Now this might be a hot take, but
Don't take mine.
I've always loved this logo.
Oh, you're taking mine.
I'm taking Pat the Patriot.
Oh, you're not? Okay, sick.
I think it's the far superior Patriots logo. It might not be the best, but it's one that I wanted. So
It is a way better logo.
Yeah, I love it. I just think it works well with everything encompassing. So, oh, look at that pop. Look at that pop.
That's a big fucking dog.
Oh yeah, baby.
Jesus Christ. His shits must be the size of your hands.
You won't leave me alone.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, I got Pat the Patriot as mine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my least favorite team in all of sports. Just the classic, cleanest logo, nicest jerseys, the New York Yankees.
Damn it.
I hate them so much, but I wish I could wear a Yankees hat. They're cool. It just looks good. It's clean.
Like
simple.
the NY.
Just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the NY, yeah.
Not the one with the cane and the top hat. I also like that logo
No.
too.
I was
Just the nice, plain, basic one.
I was actually
I think
gonna
it's
be a
awesome.
basic bitch and get a fucking Judge jersey for the summer. I love the pinstripes.
Yeah, they're great. They're great, really. Like,
Yeah, the logo is just such a clean logo.
Yeah, it is for sure. All right,
Okay. Well, now I have to fucking
taking the fucking Saints logo or something.
No, the Saints logo didn't even crack my top 5. You know what? Just because this logo is so just fucking big, and it still is big. Give me the Raiders.
that was on my list.
Raiders.
Good pick.
And then we're snaking, right?
For sure.
All right, give me the Chicago Bulls.
Great pick. Yeah.
Chicago Bulls are nice too.
Yeah.
I don't know where I go here now. I was gonna go with the Raiders.
And how many picks are we going, Jeff?
5 rounds.
Okay.
As per usual.
Okay.
I
as is
guess.
tradition.
I know there's ones I can get later. Give me a minute here.
Where does he go? What direction does he go?
I think this should be dominated by hockey, honestly, because I think hockey has the best logos. But I'm gonna throw it out to I'm gonna go some college football. The University of Miami. Orange and green, just U.
Interesting.
They had a lot.
Interesting.
They had really cool teams in the early 2000s too. Maybe that's why I like it. But yeah,
That is true. They definitely had some fucking sick basketball and football teams.
yeah.
That's fair. All right. Well, I'm getting my second and third off the board, so I'm happy. I'm gonna go the Detroit Red Wings.
That was on my list too. Fuck.
The wheel and wing. I think it's the best logo in the NHL, and I think it's one of the best logos in all sports. The detail on it is just magnificent. I love
And
it.
I mean, the fact that it's Motor City.
Yeah, it's solid. And I don't know if this is a hot take, but I'm going for my third pick, the Boston Celtics. I think the top hat with spinning the ball on his finger. I think that's a very cool logo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, it's definitely the St. Patty's Day logo right there.
Yeah. So I got I like my three that I have right now. But yeah, Celtics, third pick. Scott, back to you.
I'm gonna take the Milwaukee Brewers, the baseball mitt and ball. That's also an M and a B.
That's such a cool
Fantastic
logo. Such a
Yeah.
cool logo. That was on my list. It was pretty high up there as well.
Yeah, real clean. And like I didn't even know it was a glove for like a
Yeah.
while. And then you find it out and you're like, oh, that's sick.
Hayden, have you noticed that? Have you seen that interpretation of the logo?
Let me look it up right
Yeah,
now.
search up the Brewers logo. It's really fucking neat.
Okay, Scott, how did you not know that this was a glove?
Well, it's an M and a B. They're the Milwaukee Brewers.
That was the first thing I saw before the M and the B.
Because I told you.
No, not even the fact. Like I didn't even know. Okay, the fact that you told me, like
Helped.
you just realized it was a glove. I wasn't even looking for it to be a glove, but it just
Yeah.
happened to be like that. And then it took me a while to realize because the B's kind of like on a weird angle. It's a
Yeah.
completely round B, but yeah, no, that's like a nice patch almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a cool
They also
logo.
have a patch on one of their jerseys on their arm that's like a baseball and like one of those old school barbecues. Like you know those like round top ones. And I don't
Yeah.
really know what it's about, but they just got this like random barbecue on their arm. It's hilarious.
Oh.
All right, Hayden.
All right. Now I'm gonna have to really think about this one here.
Yeah, I don't know what direction I'm going with my next pick.
Man, there's so many. I agree with what Scott says. There's so many like just absolutely amazing logos in the NHL. So you know what? Actually, for my third pick, I'm gonna go. Give me the Mighty Duck.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one where he's like flying.
No, just
Like
the duck mask.
Okay.
Like the reverse retro one where he's breaking out of the ice. That
No,
one.
not that one.
No, no, just the duck mask. I love the duck mask with the two sticks behind it.
Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
clean logo. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, it's just a solid like logo. You know, like when you're wearing like a hat and it's just like the team hat. I know you have one.
Yeah,
It's just a sick logo to have.
right. Where is
Yeah, the
it?
one where he's
There?
flying out of the ice kind of sucks.
Yeah, it absolutely
That
does
one.
suck.
That one. That's the hat I got right there.
Can't
You
see
got
that.
it.
I'll go grab it for you, Scott.
Oh,
All right.
thank
Well,
you.
will you do that? I'm gonna try and really decipher because now we're getting into the nitty gritty here.
I know what I want. I'm going with the Kachina
Oh,
logo.
wait, hold on. Maybe I might take.
Oh shit! You got
Maybe I might take
back-to-backs?
that.
You
Yeah,
probably
I
didn't
get
even know that logo until I told you about it.
Snake. No, what are you talking about? Jev is fucking comes over
Nice
this
hat.
this logo all the time.
Well, are you gonna take it or what?
No,
What
so
one?
I'll give it to you, but I was gonna I was gonna be like kind of a switcher upper there and try and go a little bit unique. Because you know what? You gotta give the CFL some love.
Do you? Do you really?
Yeah, you do. Just because this logo has kept its like longevity, give me the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, I figured that was the only way to go out of the CFL. It's a good pick. Some of
Yeah,
these logos, like some of them, it's like the logo's cool, but the logo just like what the logo means more, like makes it cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
What logo were you guys talking about that I go crazy
Which
over?
one do you always come over that we haven't chosen yet?
It's on your list, hockey.
If it's not on your list, I will be surprised.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Minnesota?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going with the Kachina logo.
Oh, the Kachina.
The Coyotes.
Yeah.
It's
I
one of
like
the
that
most
one.
interesting, unique looks in all of sports.
Yeah, I like that logo a lot
How do
for
you even
sure.
how do you even spell it?
KA China.
But with an O.
Or you can shout out Kachuk and throw a T in front of it. Kachina. Fuck around.
That works.
All right. With my fourth pick, I'm gonna go the Canucks skate jersey. Skate.
Oh, the flying skate.
Ooh. Not the flying V.
Nah, I'm gonna go the spaghetti plate. The spaghetti plate, as Bo Horvat considers it.
Also
The
didn't know that was a
spaghetti
skate,
plate.
but I mean I figured it out quite a long time ago, but that one was shocking too. Before you know it's a skate. I still teach people that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, now this one's tough. I don't know what direction to go here for my last pick. There's a lot that I can kind of talk about because I know I'm gonna get it. There's Montreal Canadiens, very good
Oh, I
logo,
just thought of one that I want now.
very good
Damn it.
logo. But I don't know what direction to go here. I'm gonna go as much as I hate this team. I really like their their retro logo. I'm gonna go Miami Dolphins with the dolphin with the football helmet on in
Mm.
between the sun. I really like that logo a lot. So I'm gonna fuck around and go with it. But
Yeah, it's all right. I don't like the Dolphins though. Can't.
It's definitely got that like Raiders vibe to it. Like it's just such a you'd see that logo in Florida all the time.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm upset now because I wanted to put the original shark logo on here, but I just thought of one that's way better. And it is the Orlando Solar Bears from the ECHL. One of the best names in all of sports, and it's just a hilarious logo. It's awesome.
Sorry,
Look it
what
up.
is this? The Orlando
The Orlando Solar Bears
Solar
hockey
Bears.
team in the ECHL.
Oh
It's just
my
a
god, that is a fucking logo and a half.
yeah, just a polar bear with sunglasses on, holding a hockey stick,
Holding
and
a hockey stick.
it's
Oh my,
fantastic.
that's
is
unreal.
that is a logo. Dude, their colored jerseys, it just screams Islanders to me. Why couldn't they have made it like a different orange and like
I don't know. Maybe they might be the Islanders affiliate, maybe, or maybe they're Tampa. I think they're Tampa.
I would assume Tampa since they're in Florida.
Yeah. Maybe at a time they were the Islanders because for a long time they weren't always regional like that. But
Oh, Scott, I like your angle. I like your angle for last pick here. You know what? That really makes me think of like the oh fuck, what was it? The Kelowna
Rockets,
Rockets.
their
Yeah,
logo's pretty sick too. Yeah,
yeah.
like the dragon or
It's a
whatever.
pretty sick logo.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but okay, you know what? Yeah, since I have the Raiders and the Bulls, kind of like a meaningful franchise, I'm gonna go the Kelowna Rockets.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like it.
Got some honorable mentions that you guys had that was close to making the cut.
Well, yeah, I
I
had the
don't
original
know.
shark.
I don't know why the Green Bay Packers logo made it on there for like a
Yeah.
lot of lists, like just to get a note. of like what I should draft. I don't
Yeah.
know why the Packers, like, I guess meaningfulness, obviously,
Yeah.
but like there's so many better meaningful logos than just a fucking G.
Yeah. I had the Hartford Whalers. That was close.
Yep.
The as the whale fin and the interpreted H with the W. I think that's pretty cool logo.
I thought about going Nordiques.
Yeah, I had the Nordiques as well. I had the Raptors with the dino dribbling
See,
basketball.
I think that is like the most overrated jersey ever. People love it, and
I love that
it's
one.
okay to me. Like it's a little too goofy, like a little kid. I don't know, like something. It's just it is cool, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that should be on a sports jersey to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I
I
do
like the
it. I don't know.
Vancouver
It's just I think it's
Grizzlies.
overly beloved.
That's fair. That's fair
Yeah,
enough.
Vancouver Grizzlies are on my mind too.
I had the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jay head is clean. Kind of fits the. I just think like overall the Blue Jays jerseys are pretty clean. I like the color blue, and I just think the Blue Jay logo is like pretty nice as well.
Yeah, the newer like not they have so many different ones. The one from
I
like
know.
2004-ish is like the worst one. It's like
The one that says Jays.
it's like I don't know. I can't really remember. It's just not as clean. It's like rounder. It doesn't have the sharp edges like the one you're
Yeah.
talking about has.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I'm just realizing this now, but like looking at like the Raptor jersey, like the retro and the Grizzlies retro jersey. I thought they had Memphis written above Grizzly. I didn't realize they went full on and wrote Vancouver for like the season.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty
Hey.
badass. I
That's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah. They shouted them out, which is pretty cool. All right, boys. Anything else on episode 153, or shall we wrap it up?
I had something I wanted to say earlier before we got on, and I can't remember. So no.
All right. All right. Scott, where can the people find you, man?
Twitter at _Scott Ani. And yeah, read some stuff on the Nation Network, the Leafs Nation, Blue Jays Nation.
Fucking rights. Hayden?
One shout out, one last logo that I actually like. The Baltimore Orioles.
Oh yeah.
I like the bird with just like the total cartoon look.
Yeah.
And then the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that's a good one. Someone should have took that.
Yeah, I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, so that's why I was like, maybe not. But if you're talking about logo that has meaning, definitely gotta rep the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Hayden_Barton. And I think as of tonight, I'm gonna try and take a nice little cleanse off of TikTok. So you can't find me on there for a little bit, but we'll have to come back to it in the future.
Good nights. You can follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftSideHeavy_. Subscribe to the YouTube where you can catch the full video versions of the episodes. And yeah, rate and review anywhere you get your podcasts. It helps grow the show. Scott, once again, thanks for coming on, brother. We really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.